What's up guys, it's me again, Crushed Pixel. Today I'm going to play a horror map by BetatheData, which was released on Halloween this year. And I know that I'm a bit late, but I've only heard good stuff about this map, so yeah, I'm sure that it's going to meet my expectations. So this is going to be a very good horror map. And yeah, we're going to read all of the signs. Should not get comfortable, but I've already played a horror map by Craftronics which had lots of jump scares, and yeah, that really killed me. And clouds off, brightness moody. Okay, let's do that. I can probably decrease the render distance as well. Okay, and yeah, these signs are not glitched, which is good. So let's just start the map with the credits room. Here we have the creator, BetatheData, and Mosh, Texelelf, and Adrian. Hello Adrian. And hello Texelelf. You two guys are very helpful when it comes to MC edit filters. Okay. When pressed, wait out the lag. Do I have all of the sounds on 100%? Yes, I do, except music, which is, of course, what I want. Once the lag has stopped, press the button to start. Let's do this.
When you're ready to listen to the tape, sit down on a chair and press play on the recorder.
Okay.
I'll turn the lights out so you can see the screen better. Good morning, my name is Dr. Ian. I will be in charge of your therapy from now on. I've already read your file, but I'd like to hear the story directly from you. What would you prefer to be called in these sessions?
Crushed Pixel.
Jim. Okay, Jim, let's start, shall we? I want you to explain to me what happened on the night of the incident.
You won't believe it. The other 5 therapists didn't.
I'm not here to believe, Jim. I'm here to listen.
Therapy.
It originated from when I was 9 years old. That was over 20 years ago, but I still remember that night like it was yesterday. It was 2:15 in the morning. I woke up. I could feel something watching me. Lightning struck near my windows. A silhouette of a man was projected across the room. That was when I got out of bed and went to my parents' room, which was across the hall.
Okay, so waking up at night with something appearing in the window is not too appealing. So, okay, let's go to our parents' room. Okay, I can't go here.
There was something wrong about this. The bed was made perfectly, not a single crease. I thought that they might be watching TV in the living room, so I went to investigate.
Now the bed is not made perfectly anymore. Okay. Is there anything special about this painting? No.
I flushed the toilet. That always annoyed them.
I broke it. Okay.
I flushed it again. My childish mind could not comprehend the complexity of a toilet. It fascinated me.
Toilets.
Looking back at it, it seems a bit silly now, being fascinated by a toilet.
No, toilets are cool.
I flushed the toilet. I flushed it again. My childish mind could not comprehend the complexity of a toilet. It fascinated me.
I really love how it changes.
All of the lights in the house were off except mine. I wasn't tall enough to reach the light switches yet.
Holy shit.
That was the moment I saw it. It scared me. It appeared for less than a second and I haven't heard a more horrifying scream since then. There were no words in my mind that could even describe what I heard. I continued to the living room on the right to search for my parents.
Is this
The living room was dark, but I could tell my parents weren't there, so I continued to check the rest of the house for them. The hallways were dark. It felt like something was breathing down the back of my neck.
Okay, it appears like I looked too early, but it still did the trick. Holy crap.
I entered the study. There was a small blood splatter on the floor. It was strange, as there was nothing around to cut yourself on. It gave me the urge to check the kitchen.
Oh god, there's something to happen. There's something going to happen, I guarantee it.
I remembered the stairgate. I always used to sneak downstairs at night to eat all of the food in the fridge, so my dad put in a stairgate and locked it at night. They kept a key in the attic. They knew I would never go up there.
Okay, so I have to find the attic. What's there?
I never liked the attic. It was dark. The light had been broken for years. Even my dad didn't want to go near spiders that big.
Oh god.
I knew they hid the key in one of the chests somewhere.
Okay, so let's find that key. God, these spiders. Where is it? Come on, key. I cannot open that one. Here we go.
Something was wrong. The spiders shouldn't have been moving around that much. I remember hearing a door slam. My parents weren't upstairs, and I didn't hear the stairgate open.
Oh god, this is really tense and I can't move out of here. Help! Jump scare incoming.
The footsteps started to fade away. I didn't know whether or not it left, but I started to walk towards the exit anyway.
I'm having goosebumps right now. This is awesome. Awesome in a scary way. No. Okay, so let's quickly open that one.
I unlocked the stairgate, and I heard a bellowing roar from downstairs. It might have been nothing, maybe just my imagination. I really felt like returning to bed, but I continued anyway.
My way back is locked.
I didn't recognize this place. This wasn't my house. I checked to see if I was dreaming by pinching myself. The pain was all too real. The hallway seemed to go on forever, but I could see something at the end. I continued onwards.
But first, let me check. Okay, I can't open that. Oh god, this looks like the parents. Oh god.
And there they were, my parents, slumped up against the wall of an empty room that I didn't recognize, lifeless. There was blood everywhere. I tried to cry, I tried to scream, but I couldn't. My breath, my soul, nothing could escape my body, not even a tear. It was too much to take in. I heard a noise behind me. I couldn't take my eyes off my parents, but I knew I had to turn around. I had to see the thing that did this to them. I looked down the hallway, and there was nothing to be seen. No lights, no doors, just darkness. As I moved further and further down the hallway, I thought, could this just be some horrible dream? A deranged nightmare? A trick? No, it can't be. I started to feel it again. The breathing on the back of my neck. I froze. I couldn't move. I started to turn around. I couldn't control it. I just started turning. There was no noise, just silence and the darkness. The darkness was what scared me the most. The only thing keeping me from shutting my eyes was the anticipation, even though I knew what was behind me. It let out a deafening scream, and then it disappeared again. And then the feelings came back. I could feel the pain again. I started to feel dizzy. Then darkness, nothingness, no feeling, no fear, just the dark. I woke up with a sharp pain on the back of my head and surrounded by the police. I lived with my aunt from then on. Not even a month after I moved in with her, she sent me here. I don't blame her. Even I wouldn't have been able to put up with the screaming.
And that's where you punched the tape recorder.
So, do you believe it?
Of course I believe it, Jim. It was a very interesting story.
Can I ask you one thing, Doctor?
Ask away, Jim.
Why did you come here? I requested dozens of other therapists, and you were the only one to come.
Ah, that's where this gets interesting, Jim. I wanted to hear the story from your point of view. My point of view was rather, let's say, dull.
Wait, what do you mean by your point of view?
Holy
Well, Jim, waiting outside your
shit.
house for days on end, watching you and your parents, seems rather boring in my opinion. I've already said too much. I think it's time to, let's say, tie up loose ends.
Oh no. Whoa. Whoa. Holy shit. This is so intense. Go away, motherfucking therapist. No. Okay, it's going to kill me either way. But gosh, this was the best thing I've ever experienced. Kill me, come on. Thanks for playing. Thanks for making the maps. BetatheData. Oh god. Come on. This map was made in 72 hours. And wow, this was really an awesome thing. So you should definitely play the map yourself. You won't believe me, but I started sweating and I had goosebumps all the time. This was so well made, so cinematic. I really loved this map. Wow, this used tons of 1.8 features like the resource packs for the player models, the adventure mode for the cutscenes, etc. And wow, I'm astonished. This was a very great map. Thank you, Guy, for giving us this short cinematic story. I'm really surprised how well the idea, how well it was made, because the idea is pretty awesome with like you telling the story and the player has to play it through. So yeah, it's pretty well explained, even though, well, the ending was a bit it was a bit obvious in the end when he started to talk like this and say well, it was dull, etc. But it still was a nice plot twist, of course. And yeah, it was made in less than 72 hours. This is great. I would really love to see more of that kind. Maybe a map that lasts half an hour to play. This would be the perfect length for me, because I've just gotten into the feeling of being extremely scared, and if this could have lasted a bit longer, it would have been awesome. But anyway, thanks to you, mate, for making this great map. This has been Crushed Pixel playing The Therapist by BetatheData. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.